So again, we are exploring how to produce really great art, how to be able to produce that art incredibly fast, and how to reach that higher level in as short a period of time as possible. Okay, so the first strategy I want to introduce today is how to draw like an animator. Animators are really good at drawing very fast, very quickly. Our line work looks really nice, and we draw really straight lines and perfect circles. So you're thinking, how am I going to be able to draw perfect lines and perfect circles without using a ruler, without using the bottom of a cup? It's actually quite simple. I'm going to show you that technique right now. What you're going to notice is that, when you draw on paper, you tend to draw with your wrist on the table, right? You got to take your wrist off the table, okay? Now here, I can't do that because I'm drawing with my paper vertical, but it doesn't make any difference because even if I were sitting at a table, I'd be drawing the same way, okay? Take your wrist off of the table, and I'll explain why. If you draw with your wrist on the table, when you try to draw a straight line, you're gonna get a curved line, okay? Because this creates a curve. So you don't draw, actually we don't draw with our hand, we draw with our arm. Okay, so if you draw with your elbow on the table, you still get a curved line, okay? So to get a perfect straight line, you've got to draw with your entire arm, okay? So we're gonna draw really long lines, and you're gonna draw them too long. So even if you only need the line to go from here to here, you're gonna draw through, okay? For instance, if I draw a square, I'm gonna draw it like this. And circles, very similar. The way you're gonna draw perfect circles is you don't draw like this. You don't try to get it perfect the first time, okay? Mine's pretty good because I've been drawing for years, but most of you, when you draw circles, they look like this, right? Absolutely not. The way you draw a perfect circle is you touch the paper very lightly, okay? You try to create a very light line, and then you go around and around and around and again, and you perfect it as you go around each time. Okay? When you do this, you're gonna get circles that look really nice, okay? And they might not look nice the first time you go around, but the second time it gets better, and the third time it gets even better, and you just keep going around until your circles look better, okay? And if you wanna really make them look round, you can even put these kind of semicircles on there. Now there's another thing I need to explain about drawing circles. We don't actually draw circles. What we draw is spheres, okay? It's the difference between drawing a shape and drawing a form. Form is 3D. Form, it feels like it has volume, okay? What you wanna do is you wanna look at the paper, and then instead of seeing the paper as a flat white surface, see it as you're inside a white room, and you can see this sphere in front of your eyes. And you're just simply trying to capture that sphere by tracing its outside, okay? And make sure you can see a round form inside that white 3D space, and then capture that by going around perfectly again and again and again. And we do not ever cross hatch like this, okay? Don't go back and forth, no. We do big, long, full strokes. And that, my friend, is how you draw like an animator. So now you know how to draw straight lines, and to practice, we're gonna try to draw the impossible triangle, also known as the Penrose triangle, named after a famous mathematician who came up with the object. Now, the impossible triangle is filled with straight lines, but this, my friends, is a little tricky to draw, so try to figure out how to draw this triangle. If you need a little help, you can follow along as I try to do it. All right, so this next drawing practice is the structural head. So this is one that I came up with. It's kind of self-explanatory, but nice thing is it's very step by step. And I've seen young children be able to draw this and high schoolers be able to draw this. But the key thing to remember is draw with 3D forms, okay? Try to capture that sense of volume. Also very important, keep your lines parallel, okay? You need those parallelograms because that's what makes the perspective look correct, okay? All right, so now we need to practice a little bit more with circles and spheres. And so to do that, for this drawing practice, we're going to draw classical Mickey Mouse from Walt Disney. Now, I hope I don't get any copyright claims from Disney. Please don't knock this video off the internet. We're just simply trying to get back to some of the original designs by some of the greatest animators. Mickey Mouse is really ingeniously simple design, okay? This guy is 3 circles. What does that mean? 3 circles, okay? His head is 3 circles. His body is 3 circles. His hand is like 3 circles. It's always this repeating design, okay? But for us, we're just going to draw the head for now, but let's start with those spheres. Remember, don't draw circles, draw spheres. And don't draw it until you can turn this white paper, flat paper, into 3D space, step into this white room of white space, and then see a sphere and try to capture that sphere. And then, so we've got our first circle. Now we need the other 2 circles. But these 2 circles are not perfect. They're a little bit flattened. Okay, so we have one near the top of the image. It's not quite as big and not quite as round. Next, so we have our 3 circles. Now we've got another set of 3 circles, okay? You've got a circle, 2 circles that overlap here. So there's this circle, there's this circle, and then a 3rd circle, which comes back and around to the bottom. Okay, so we've got those 3. Now we've got another set of 3 circles. So we've got these smaller circles. Although leave a little highlight if you can. Okay, and then just a matter of adding some details. So kind of make it wrap around. You gotta see it in 3D, okay? If you can't see it, you can't draw it. So see his mouth wrapping around this form. Okay, it's not a great Mickey Mouse, but good enough. So this is just the first of 3 strategies that I want to introduce about how to get really good, really fast, really quickly. Next, we're going to learn how to think and stop thinking when you draw.